Good morning, this is Dwayne, and this is New Year's Eve as I'm recording this, New Year's Eve 2015, so tomorrow is New Year's Day 2016. In any case, I'd like to talk about playing Auld Lang Syne, the New Year's song, using just 3 chords. And the 3 chords we're using, of course, are the primary chords in any key. So I'll just pick it out, say, in the key of C. Go on, of course, okay? But notice I just used 3 chords. The 1 chord, the 4 chord, and the 5 chord in the key of C. I call it the 1 chord because it's built on the 1st degree of the C scale, which goes like that. The 4 chord, 1, 2, 3, 4, is built on the 4th degree of the scale, the C scale, and the 5 chord is built on the 5th degree of the C scale. So again, it's just 1, 4, and 5, all it takes to play Auld Lang Syne in the key of C. And then you just pick out the melody by ear. Let's do it in a different key though, okay? Let's do it in the key of F. The key of F is based on the scale of F, which has 1 flat. So let's see what the primary chord is in the key of F. The 1 chord is F, of course, because it's the 1st degree of the scale. The 4 chord, 1, 2, 3, 4, is B flat, because it's the 4th degree of the F scale. And the 5 chord is the C chord, because it's the 5th degree of the F scale, okay? So if I'll pick out Auld Lang Syne in the key of F, the 1 chord, 4 chord, 1 chord, 5 chord, 4 chord, 5 chord, 1 chord, okay? Now, let's do it one more key, then I want to talk about what else you can do, okay? Let's do the key of G, for example. That's the key of G. It's got 1 sharp in it. So the 1 chord would be based on the 1st degree of the scale, G. The 4 chord would be built on the 4th degree of the scale, C. And the 5 chord would be built on the 5th degree of the scale, which is D. So our primary chords in the key of G are 1, 4, and 5. G, C, and D. Okay? So let's pick out the melody. 1 chord, 5 chord, 1, 4, 1, 5, 4, 5, 1. Okay? Now, what else could we do? Well, we don't have to limit ourselves to 1, 4, and 5, but if you're starting out to playing, then that's a great way to start. Just pick out the 1, 4, and 5 chords and match the melody to it. Okay, but you can do anything you want, actually. So I could put the chords in the melody as well, couldn't I? I don't have to play it just like that. I could play the whole chord in the right hand under the melody. Let me do it a little lower. It's a 4 chord under the melody, 1 chord, 5 chord, 4 chord, 5, 1. Okay, so I can put it in the melody. I can put it in both hands. Okay, in the left hand, I could chord it. I could go. In other words, a low note and then chords following up. Okay, to give it a little rhythm. Okay, and or I could arpeggiate it. That means stretch the chords out like that. Let's do it in the key of C, maybe. See, what I'm doing is I'm breaking up the C chord. Now I'm breaking up the F chord, C chord, G chord, F chord, G chord, and back to the C chord. Just by breaking up the notes of the chord. I'm using my sustain pedal, the pedal on the right, to hook the notes together so that it sounds like a unified chord, okay? And then, of course, I can put the chords in the right hand along with that. Then it sounds fuller, doesn't it? But I'm not limited to those chords. I could choose other chords just based on, does the melody fit in the chord I want to use. For example, I'm tired of the C chord, so I ask myself, what other chord does that C note fit in? And it fits in F. It fits in the A minor chord. I'll choose A minor. Listen. See, that's A minor. And now the next chord, the next melody note, G, it not only fits in the D, not only fits in the G chord, it fits in the D minor chord, fits in a lot of chords. So I'll just play different chords now as I harmonize that, okay? A minor, D minor, G, C seventh, F sharp diminished, C, A minor, D minor, E seventh, A minor, F, G, and C. And you can do that till the cows come home. Let me do it in the key of F. D minor, G minor, C7. That's a F7 suspension. That's a B flat major chord. What I did there is I just took the B flat major chord and broke it up the keyboard. Going to B diminished, back to F, D minor, E minor, A seventh with a flat ninth, D minor, B flat, C, and then home to F. Or I could use a substitute chord like D flat, E flat, and end on F. I just want to show you that you can start out with just 3 chords, just the primary chords of any key, but you don't have to stay there. As you get more advanced, you can add more and more variety, both in the way you break up chords and the number of chords you use that you choose to use. And it doesn't happen overnight, but it does happen. So if you're enjoying this kind of thing, just keep on keeping on. Well, Happy New Year to you, and we'll see you in the new year. Bye-bye for now. Hi, this is Dwayne again, and I'd like to tell you about a little book that I wrote a few years back. It's called Piano Chords and Chord Progressions, The Secret Backdoor to Exciting Piano Playing. And it's a terrific resource about chords. If you want to know more about chords, you ought to latch onto this book. It's just barely over 10 bucks, 11 bucks I think it is. And it covers all the chords and chord progressions that I talk about in my videos. It's just a great, it's not a substitute for videos, of course, but or DVDs, but it's a great summary, and it's so inexpensive that it's well worth your while to get. Here's a table of contents. You can just look down here and see all the things it covers. Starts out with major, minor, diminished, augmented, 6th, 7th, and on to 13th chords and suspensions and alterations, and then gets on to chord progressions and so on. So it's a very thorough book, and it's got a lot of illustrations. I'll just toggle through a little bit, so you can, and there's the back cover. So it's worth your while to get. So hope you take advantage of that. Thank you. Bye bye for now.